Rice is the third most important staple food in Kenya. While up to 90% of rice consumed in Kenya is imported, costing the economy over $200 million each year. An estimated 20% of cereals produced locally, including rice, is lost before reaching the market. Mwea constituency in Kirinyaga County, Kenya, with a population of about 200,000 people, produces up to 80% of Kenya's rice, which is about 149,000 tons of rice per year, while consumption stands at 540,000 tons.
This river comes from Kirinyaga, and it helps them farm their rice. So it goes till the further end down there. So they use it to farm rice here. Before the rice was brought here, it was in a nursery. So first from the nursery, it's brought here. This is 1 month old rice. And then the water is from the river. There are some canals. This is a nursery, and what happens in a nursery is that they plant the seeds. So after 1 month, they take it to the farm now, where it will be grown. So it moves from the nursery to the farm, and then what they're doing there, they want now to plant the rice. These rice plants that was in the nursery, they want to plant them into the farm, which that other side is the farm, and that's why they're uprooting them from the nursery to plant at the farm.
So to grow this, do they need fertilizer to grow this?
Yeah.
So organic or inorganic? You guys are using fertilizer, not organic at the moment?
Yeah, they're not using organic fertilizer at the moment.
This nursery, when they harvest like this, do they sell it to the farmers, or how do the farmers get it?
Okay. So if you know you want to plant rice, the farming process starts from the nursery. So each farmer has their own nursery. So she's saying that there are so many, more than the thousands. So everyone has their own nursery. If you know you're planting rice, that's the process. That's where you start from. You have to start from the nursery. So each and every farmer has their own nursery.
Excellent. So how long does it take for rice to grow? Up to the point of harvesting?
90 days.
90 days?
90 days.
And
From
you start
now.
harvesting?
Yeah, 90 days.
What is your name?
I'm James Irongo.
James Urongo.
Yeah.
So how many do you need to plant to have like 1 ton or to have like 1,000 kilograms?
These 20 of them are the ones that are going to give a kilo. So for you to get maybe 1,000, then you'll need 20,000 of this to get a ton.
Yes.
Yeah.
20,000 of that to get a ton. That's
yeah,
good.
to get a ton.
You guys are producing, you grow the seedlings and you produce it. What is your biggest challenge? What's the biggest challenge that you face in this nursery where you grow this to the planting?
So what he's saying is that one of the challenges that they face at the nursery is that they have pests. So as you can see here, they're not fully green, they're yellow, so meaning that those are not very good, they're supposed to be green. So it takes a whole month to prepare all this, but they have issues of pests.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you see these small insects flying. Those are the ones that are affecting the seedlings at the nursery.
We can now also start looking at the kind of manure that can be used, not only chemicalized fertilizers, and that could be able to start solving some of the challenges that you guys are facing. It's good for the soil, and it will make you grow so many nurseries, and with that, and it's also cheaper. So it's good to now we're going to work together so that you move to organic fertilizer, because inorganic is expensive.
Yeah.
Now, when you plant the rice and harvest it, what are the challenges in Jerry? What are the challenges?
So what they're saying is that the prices are quite an issue once harvested. So you find that the brokers will buy them at cheap prices of 70, 75 or 80 per kilo. So those who plant off season, get good prices. Those who plant like right now, because this is the season of rice, then brokers do flood the market and buy at cheap prices.
Yeah, but how do you dry the rice?
What they're saying is that they use direct sun. So as at the moment, they can't even remove the rice to dry because it's not that hot. They have to wait till it's too hot. But that is in the villages, that is, they use the sun. But then there are some companies, like some big ones, that have their own dryers. But for all the other farmers in the village, they have to use the sun.
And how long does it take when the farmers use the sun to dry?
Just it depends with the sun. It can take one day, 2 days.
So you know, when you dry on the ground and you depend on the sun, the quality of the rice is not good.
Direct from the sun, you must put a mat.
Yes.
From here.
You know, chicken, bird poo, dust can also come into it. So what we want to do now is introduce you guys to start using solar dryers. So that when you harvest the rice, you put in a solar dryer. It takes 2 hours, it takes 5 hours, it takes 4 hours to dry, and the quality is good, and it can stay for a very long time without getting spoiled. And that is what we want to introduce you guys to here.
That's good. It's good.
Yes.
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 If you want to introduce this, that's what you can introduce because we do use direct from the sun.
Yes. That is, because you dry and wait for sun, when it is not sunny, what happens is that your rice can get spoiled. Then you lose it.
Yeah.
After the hard effort that you have worked hard to plant the seedlings, you harvest it and it gets spoiled, you lose money, you lose your rice, and
even the money will be very cheap.
Yes.
Because
it's not well dried.
Yeah.
And so we are introducing the solar dryer so that they can help to dry quick, make sure the quality of the rice is great, so that you can also sell the good quality now at a higher price. James Orongo. Yeah, happy to meet you. This is Njeri. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Excellent. Yeah.
But much of the little that is produced goes to waste in the form of post-harvest losses, necessitating importation of about 70% of rice to meet demand. Analysis revealed a number of gaps that lower rice crop productivity. At the farm level, farmers noted that the high fertilizer cost was an inhibitor to enhancing production. Beyond the farm level, post-harvest losses were another challenge where farmers noted that any time downpour of rain was experienced, up to 50 kilograms of rice is potentially lost by each farmer in just one go. This is happening at a time when rice consumption in the country is growing at a rate of 12% annually, compared with 4% for wheat and 1% for maize. The Mwea local processor, Nice Rice Mill, that processes about 70% of Mwea rice, noted the need for improved quality of rice brought in for milling. Specifically, they noted the need to ensure efficiency and effectiveness in drying rice while maintaining hygiene and cleanliness of the product brought in for milling. It is therefore imperative to bring in solutions that can turn the current challenge into opportunities. Intervention. The efficiency of climate action solutions to intervene in bridging gaps along the entire rice value chain needs to be introduced to farmers and rice value chain actors towards reversing the over $200 million expended in imports becomes crucial.
As you can see, we are in Mwea in Kirinyaga County, Kenya, East Africa. A county, especially in Mwea here, that grows rice. And this rice is actually dried in open space where you see chicken and stones and dust. And it takes longer days to dry. But this results to food harvest losses and food waste, which as a result of that is not only contributing to hunger, but driving food insecurity and unemployment, as well as reducing opportunities for mothers who depend on this, not just for their livelihood, but also to generate opportunities and create wealth. But what needs to be done is that instead of drying this in open space like this, where you can have dust that contaminates this, compromising the quality of this rice that is dried in open space and depending on the sun, there needs to be an alternative. And that alternative is a solar dryer that can enhance the quality and at the same time also reduces the time in which it takes to dry. And that is why we're here today, to engage the farmers, to engage those community men and women, to explain to them exactly the solution that is needed to be able to enhance the quality of the biggest produce that they produce here, rice, and also shorten the time in which they use to dry without compromising the quality. And in a moment, we'll be explaining to you and showing you what brought us here, a climate action solution. What we can be able to seize the opportunity under the changing climate, but at the same time, climate action provides an investment opportunity for young people to start engaging and turning the challenges into opportunities.
Yeah, so if there is no sun and it has not been dried from the word go after harvesting, then it's going to spoil and they'll have to throw it. But as long as it has been put outside to lose that moisture, then it means that it's not going to spoil. So if the weathers are not that good, it's going to take a lot of time for it to dry.
And so that means they lose money because of the drying issue.
I'm Agnes Murithi. I do business. I buy rice, I dry, and later I mill and sell to my customers. So I'm saying this, in life we have got a number of challenges. But as we go on in the business, we learn how to tackle the challenges. Like now, you people, you have come up very well. That is the challenge about the weather and our rice getting destroyed when there is a lot of rain. You've come up with a very good idea of the solar drying, because initially you just to pour our rice in the loom, waiting it to dry. Right. But instead of drying, the rice could get the aflatoxin. Now you see that the farmers will come by buying the machine, the solar machine, and they'll keep in their homes, such that when it is damp, they can just put their rice in the dryer and it will dry. In fact, it will help a lot to our farmers. As to the buyers, will be in a better place, because Agnes, I feel that my rice will not get destroyed. Correct. So I'll come for the machine and I'll be drawing my machine, while others are complaining that the rice is getting destroyed. Agnes will be okay.
You can already feel.
Yes.
You can already feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yet when you go out, it doesn't feel hot.
Absolutely.
So that one tells you that instead of spending a whole day drying their rice, they may probably take a max of about 3 hours. All factors constant. The hygiene.
Yeah.
Because
you can see here, we can even see insects.
Yes,
already.
Exactly. So when you put it inside here, there is minimal risk of contamination. Actually, zero risk of contamination.
Yes.
And this structure has been built as a food structure. It's aluminium. Aluminium here. You have UV treated paper.
Yes.
UV treated paper has two functions. One, to preserve the taste, color, and scent of the food. It doesn't degrade because the UV rays are kept away. They're the ones that cause food degradation. it preserves the paper, the UV treatment. Because if you use only the ordinary paper, it's gonna wear out very fast.
Right.
This can last for the next 4 years. They can use it for the next 4 years.
Getting very hot inside, right?
It's very, very hot, exactly.
Yes.
You know, that's what they need to experience. And then we have the net, also UV treated.
Which means flies cannot come inside and
Exactly,
other things.
yes. And also keeps the rice from falling off. And we also have the black polythene that you're stepping on. It's also UV treated. Ensures that the heat is retained inside. That's why it's black.
Right.
Yes.
Well, this is excellent. So the community can be able to use this to dry their rice, and they can do it in a way that as they dry their rice, it's quicker. So it even means that they turn over to marketing it to the buyers.
And it's hygienic.
And it's hygienic.
Precisely.
So it's good for health.
Yes.
Yeah. The last question is, so it's not only rice that can be dried here, is that correct?
No, food dryers are used for everything. You can
So
dry
cassava
meat,
can also be dried
cassava,
here?
maize,
And fruits, and
yes.
that is great.
Yeah, moringa.
And even vegetables.
We are doing this even for moringa farmers. Farmers are using this to dry moringa
Right.
in Narok.
And so if you were to talk to youth, how is this useful for youth? They will say, well, it's good for mama bogas to dry their things there. They don't see any value for this.
No,
So what would you
if
tell
a
them
youth
about
group would come up with something like this, they can be leasing it out.
Yes.
They can make one, and they can use it to lease out so that they have one constructed here.
Correct.
Someone who wants to dry their rice can come, and for a small fee, they have their rice dried up in just a couple of hours. And that way they're able to make some money.
And then they're solving a problem of food insecurity.
Yes.
So this is actually a solution not just for the rice farmer but also for the youth,
exactly.
which they can use to make money.
Yes.
Excellent.
And in future we can train them even how to construct them.
Yes.
So that we supply them with the material,
Yes.
and the youth are able to construct them locally.
That would be
that's
amazing.
another way.
So what is going to happen is that once you put it here in the dryer, you just leave it. So the labor, in terms of labor, they used to turn their rice when they are drying from outside. So that has been reduced because once you put it in the dryer, then that's it, you leave it to dry. And it takes shorter time, it takes a few hours to dry, opposed to putting it outside in the sun. It will take a day, so here it will take a few hours. And from a hygiene perspective, the wind, there is dust, there is stones, there is birds. So that is reduced because once you put it in the dryer, there is no dirt, there is no dust, and then the heat comes from both sides, from down and from side. So it takes really short time to dry. So meaning that you can do everything in terms of effectiveness. It works very well. It does not need electricity. So it's a very good dryer that can help. And opposed to rice, you can also dry other products with the same dryer as well. Yes.
This demonstration showed that climate action solutions can unlock increased income opportunities for local communities and enhance environment, including by sequestering more carbon. At the farm level, conversion of rice waste sourced from the local processor into organic fertilizer can create income opportunities and improve soil nutrient levels to enhance productivity and also provide a substitute for more expensive commercial fertilizers. Innovative volunteerism is set to train youth to intervene in producing fertilizer from the rice waste. Estimates show that 1 metric ton of rice waste can be bought at $30 from the miller and processed into fertilizer sold to farmers at $30 per 50 kilograms, much cheaper than commercial fertilizer. This means youth trained in making this fertilizer stand to earn $200 for each processed ton and over 560% return in investment. The farmers using this fertilizer are estimated to increase yields by up to 30% and income by 50% as a result of soaring cheaper fertilizer that increases their yields. Additionally, for every acre of land that uses this fertilizer, 1.7 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent are sequestered.
The rice we receive at the milling factory is not of the best quality. Part of it is full of dust. It has a lot of sand. There are animal soilings on it. So we'd prefer rice that is clear, well dried. The one we receive is not the best dried. So we'd prefer rice that is clean, well dried, and it will take us shorter time to process and to clean and to get the best quality out of it. So this project, as I've heard, bringing solar dryers to our farmers around here will work very well for us and will help us improve our profits, reduce our processing time, reduce our cost of cleaning the rice, and will be far much better with the solar dryers among our farmers around this place.
Innovative volunteerism inspired a youth-led and youth-driven climate action enterprise called Ebagro Pamoja, which operates on the basic premise that these challenges are disguised opportunities, and tapping into these glaring opportunities and engaging clean energy actors, as well as willing youth in driving solar dryers to centralizations to farmers to cut down on rice post-harvest losses. The solar dryers demonstrated to the Mwea rice farmers showed that the use of solar dryers is 48 times more efficient than the business-as-usual open sun drying process. With the business-as-usual scenario, farmers took an average of 2 days to dry their rice. The dryer used just about an hour. The dryers were also more effective, using moisture reduction to just about 10%, which is much more effective than the 14% threshold needed to prevent aflatoxin attacks. These special solar dryers, championed by the youth-led climate action-driven enterprise Ebagro Pamoja, have added benefits of hygiene where the rice is not exposed to soiling from animals, humans, stones, and dust. It also provides major protection from rain and bird attacks.
We put this rice inside here at 10:30.
Right.
So we have 5 minutes
To
1 hour.
To 1 hour.
Since we put it here, and the rice is already warm.
And the one that
And
is
if I
used
come
as a
and touch
control.
this one,
Yes.
that is control,
Yes.
it's just beginning to warm up. My name is Wamai Mwangi. I'm the director of Grecon Limited. We are an irrigation company. Started off as an irrigation company, moved to greenhouses, and in the course of doing greenhouses, we were challenged by a farmer to design a dryer for them, because the farmer walked to the greenhouse, they felt it was very warm, and they were looking for something to dry their tomato. So we designed something. We came up with a prototype. How does the air move in? How does the air go out? What's the height we work with to achieve certain temperatures? We've done a lot of mathematics here. And we came up with a prototype. We modified it, and we got a good standard for our dryers. And right now, Grecon is number one, not just in Kenya, but in East Africa, designing solar dryers. We do a lot of solar dryers across the region. So a rice dryer creates efficiencies. You can already see the efficiencies that you're experiencing right now.
Yes.
In terms of time saving, you're able to dry your rice pretty fast.
Correct.
Secondly, you preserve the quality. The smell is preserved because, like we said, this is UV treated. So preserves the smell, preserves the taste, preserves the color. There is no degradation from the sun because you're not interacting with direct sunlight. You're dealing with warmth.
Right.
You're dealing with warmth, which is what you need at this point. And lastly, very importantly, hygiene. No insects, no birds, very little human intervention and movement. So you're selling clean material. We partner pamoja with the Ebagro Pamoja in promoting solar technologies across the region. Solar dryers, solar water pumping, and all these technologies that come irrigation using solar technology.
Through innovative volunteerism, I got to open Ebagro Pamoja, and what innovative volunteerism is, you with your own skills. We come collectively and we use each and everyone's skills to solve a problem. That is what innovative volunteerism is. So each and every youth, each and every person with your own different skill, it can be used to complement another person's skill to solve a problem, solve problems that we are facing as Africans, as Kenyans, as youth here. What Ebagro Pamoja does, now we work with different actors. For example, Wamai produces the solar dryers, he produces irrigation. So what we do is we help him promote whatever product he's using. We expose it to the farmers and how we're going to help them solve their problems. So with that, We have complemented our skills, my skills in marketing, what Eba Group Pamoja is doing to help the farmers. And what we do is we connect the dots across the entire agro-value chain. So we have different aspects that we work on, like clean energy. For an example, the solar dryer that Wamai is producing. So we are here to showcase how the solar dryer works and how it's going to help reduce post-harvest losses. And apart from clean energy, we have different aspects of training, agro-processing, markets, and we have also innovative financial services. We want to see how we can train the youth to start even fabricating clean energy, training them on aspects of reducing post-harvest losses, what they can do to even help the farmers. So by this, you're instilling skills in the youth whereby they can create their own enterprises and they can have something to do and even have money to run their own day-to-day livelihoods. Agriculture is our backbone, and there's a lot of opportunities that are lying within our agricultural sector. So if you look at this solar dryer and the amount of farmers that we have, the opportunities are endless. So you can reach out to us and we see how best we can get you training, and you see what kind of enterprise you can engage in across the entire agro-value chain. We can train you, then you open your own enterprise, and not only in aspects of clean energy, with each and every aspect across the entire agro-value chain.
My name is Jacinta Wambui, Jaja. I am a rice grower, and at the same time, I'm a businesswoman. I do work with rice. We have been facing challenges when we are drying rice, when sometimes there is no sun. And I've seen the dryer can help the farmers, even the business women who are working here. We can be helped by this dryer. So we would organize ourselves and see whether we can afford to buy at least one big dryer. Yes. So you have seen it. It will be helping us to use a retro time. Than the way to the other farmers who have not learned what you have brought here at nice. I think we are good messengers. We are going to take this message to the farmers around this place, and I think they are going to appreciate. Let me say, marketing is a problem at this place of ours, and we would ask you are going also to help us to have market.
So my name is Steffi. Eba Group Pamoja is an enterprise that connects the dots across the entire agro-value chain. So we connect you to clean energy systems. The same way we've brought a solar dryer here, we've demonstrated. So this is, we're using clean energy since we're using the sun. And apart from that, we have other aspects like training. So we are going to train people on how to use the dryers, maintain cleanliness, and how even to fabricate them. And apart from training, we have markets, the aspect that you've mentioned, that markets is a challenge. So we also connect farmers to market, so we can also connect your rice to markets. So the issue of markets being a challenge, we're also going to help out with that. And apart from that, we do now, because you guys are processing rice here, that is agro-processing, that is an aspect we also deal with. So you see how you take the rice, you dry it, you take it to the mill to be processed into rice that we can actually consume. That is agro-processing. That is also something that we deal with. We also have innovative financial services where if someone is not able to raise the finances, we can see how we can connect them to a financial institution, or whether you're SACCO, to see how you can be able to source the funds to buy the systems. Yes, so generally that's what we do. Yes.
The market is people. And when people know that the rice they are buying is good for their health, it means it was dried well, the quality is good, they will start buying rice that is dried from these solar dryers. So the market you have is the people even around here and even across Kenya. So when they start knowing that the rice farmers are drying their rice in a nice way, and it is good because they're drying it in a solar dryer that takes care of all the aspects of health, that is clean, it is neat, it dries well, it's not contaminated by anything, they will start buying it. So this is actually a marketing strategy that we are bringing to your doorstep. Yes. And what can happen is that youth around here can now start also being the people to also market that, this rice, though it is produced here, it is dried in solar dryer, it is good for you, and even start going door to door, even marketing for people to buy. So this is a good opportunity for a market.
So she's saying that the dryer takes shorter time. So their work mostly is rice. That's what they do. So it's going to take a shorter time to dry. If they get 2 or 3, that will be good for them because this is like their major work. So it's going to help them.
What I was doing out there, I was trying to check the moisture content with the light that is in the solar and that is out in the sun. Yes. And in fact, I have got the samples. When you check the rice that is from the solar, it is almost dry. Yeah. Whereas the one out in the sun has not even dried yet. Yeah. It has got a long way to go to dry. Whereas this one, in 20 minutes time, it will be dry.
55. That means exactly 1 hour. Exactly. And that one outside has not even started.
This one will take a whole day.
Wonderful.
Whereas this one in 20 minutes time, will be collecting. So 1.5 hours, the rice is dry.
You're talking 1.5 hours and the sun is not yet out completely. Yes. So you can imagine if the sun was out,
it would take 30 minutes.
30 minutes will be enough.
30 minutes will be enough when the sun is out.
You check.
Amazing.
This one is from the machine, whereas this one is from out there.
Yes, this is.
Not yet. So the heat here is very strong to dry the rice. And in fact, it will help the farmers a lot because they will not get challenges when it is rainy. So we just put our rice in the machine and it will dry. Fine. What I can tell my colleagues in the field of rice farming is this, that the invention of the solar machine, it has helped us so much. Simply because we normally harvest our rice when it is rainy, and we normally get a lot of challenges that our rice get destroyed due to the very high moisture. So soon I can encourage our farmers to buy the machine because it will help them dry their machine and dry their rice, and in fact will stop the challenges of having the aflatoxin and our rice getting destroyed. So in fact the machine has also got the advantage that there is no contamination because this food, soon you put it in the machine, there are no animals that will pass in or destroying the rice, so the hygiene is very high. So that is how I can encourage the farmers to come and buy the solar machine, which will help them dry and have a good quality of rice.
The Muea local processor, Nice Rice Mill, expressed satisfaction and preference to source rice dried using these solar dryers, demonstrated by youth-led and youth-driven climate action enterprise Eba Gro Pamoja, powered through innovative volunteerism. This in itself is a game changer, proving to youth that the biggest leverage they have is perfecting their skills and working selflessly in complementary collaborations targeted at the low-lying fruits, that is connecting climate action solutions along Kenya's agro-value chains towards maximizing productivity of Kenya's rice value chain, and lessons will be extended to other value chains like cassava. Even more appealing is the fact that such youth will be structurally guided through a continental inclusive framework, EBA FOSA, Innovative Volunteerism, free structured guidance to leverage skills for climate action enterprises by tapping the agro-value chain that is available to all.
Innovative volunteerism, food security, transforming our lives, solar dryer, hot dryer.